Sanjaya continued to report all that had been happening in the battle in the Kurukshetra battlefield. In the previous few shlokas, that is between the 13th and the 19th shlokas, Sanjaya was telling Dhritarashtra that the conches were blown, the battle drums were beaten, and he was also praising Dhritarashtra of how the blowing of conches by the Pandavas, what kind of impact it had on the Kaurava army. So next let us see what happens in the next few shlokas. अत व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः ऋषिकेशं तथा वाक्यम् इदमाह महीपते अर्जुन उवाच सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थापय मेच्युत. So Mahipate, addressing Dhritarashtra as Mahipate. Mahipate, Lord of Earth, that is King. So, O King, Pandavaha Kapidvajaha. So, Sanjaya tells Pandavaha Kapidvajaha. Pandavaha is in singular here. So, it refers to Kapidvajaha. That Pandava who has Kapi Vanaraha, Dvaja. Dvaja is flag. That Pandava who has the Lord Hanuman himself in his flag. So Arjuna has hoisted a flag in his chariot which has Lord Hanuman himself in it. So that Pandava. So Pandavaha Kapidvajaha Atta Vyavastitan Drishtva Dhartrashtran. So Dhartrashtran, Dhritarashtra's sons or people belonging to Dhritarashtra or the Kauravas. So Atta Vyavastitan Dhartrashtran Drishtva. Having seen the Kauravas assembled there, what did Arjuna do? What did Pandavaha Kapidvajaha do? Pravrutte Shastra Sampate Dhanuruddhamya. So he looks at the Dhartrashtran, that is the Kauravas, who appear to be very enthusiastic. They are all ready to hurl the weapons on the opponents. So all seem to be enthusiastic because the conches have been blown and the announcement of the war has already been made. So that enthusiasm grips Arjuna also. So what does he do? Shastra Sampate Pravritte. Shastra Sampate, that is the weapons. Arjuna also is at that time when he was ready to hurl the weapons on the opponents. Shastra Sampate Pravritte Dhanuruddhamya. So what does he do? He Dhanuruddhamya. He straightens his bow. Rishikesham tada vakyamidam aha. Aha means said. So idam vakyam aha. He said this sentence. Whom does he tell? Rishikesham. Rishikesham, that is Krishna. Earlier we saw Rishikesham. It refers to Krishna who has absolute control over his sense organs. So tada. At that time when he was ready to hurl the weapons on the opponents, what does he do? He straightens his bow and he uttered the following sentence to Rishikesha. Arjuna uvacha senayor ubayor madhye ratam stapaya me chyuta. So Arjuna tells Krishna, me ratam, my rata, okay, senayoho ubayoho madhye stapaya. So he is telling Krishna, my ratam, me ratam, Senayoho Ubayoho Madhye Stapaya. Senayoho Ubayoho is in dual. You have singular, dual and plural. So dual is two. Senayoho, there are two armies here. You have the Pandava army and you have the Kaurava army. So Arjuna is telling Krishna, park my chariot between both the armies. Senayoho Ubayoho Madhye Stapaya means park, install. Here it means park. Me Chuta, Achyuta. So addressing Krishna as Achyuta, he tells Krishna, park my chariot between both the armies. Now Arjuna refers to Krishna as Achyuta. Achyuta means slip. Achyuta, one who never slips from his exalted position. So Arjuna seems to know that his Parthasarathi, that is his Krishna, he is the Lord Vishnu himself. He is the God himself who is infallible, one who never fails, one who is unwavering, and one who is of an unchanging nature. So, knowing very well that his Parthasarathi is the Lord himself, he addresses him as Achyuta, and he tells him, please park my chariot between both the armies. यावदेतान् निरीक्षेऽहं योद्धुकामानवस्थितान् कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे. Asmin Rana Samudyame, Asmin in this Rana Samudyame. Udyame means Muyarchi, initiative. Rana Samudyame, por Muyarchi. So in this battle initiative, Kaihi Saha Maya Yodavyam. With who all do I need to fight in this battle initiative? Yavat yetan nirikshe aham yoddukaman avastitan. So yoddukaman means yoddu here is battle, kaman, desire. So avastitan, present. So he says, I want to have a good look at all those persons who are present here, who are desirous, who are enthusiastic to fight. Yavat yetan nirikshe aham, that is Arjuna is saying, I, nirikshe, I want to see, I want to have a good look at all those yoddukaman, all those who are desirous of fighting, avastitan, present here. So Arjuna is telling Krishna, please park my chariot in between both the armies, so that I come to know Kaihi Saha Maya Yodavyam, who all I need to fight. And so I want to have a good look at all those desirous of fighting and those who are present here. Yavat means till such time. That is, till such time I have a good look at all these persons who are desirous of fighting, with whom I need to fight. Let the chariot be parked between both the armies. That is understood here. Yotsya kaman aveksheham yayetatra samagataha dhartarashtrasya durbuddhe yuddhe priyachikirshavah. So he says, durbuddhehe dhartarashtrasya yuddhe priyachikirshavah. Durbuddhe Dhartarashtra. So Dhartarashtra refers to Duryodhana here, Dhritarashtra's son. It is in singular, Dhritarashtra's son. And he is referring to, Arjuna is referring to Duryodhana as Durbuddhi, a person with evil intentions. Why is it Arjuna is calling Duryodhana as Durbuddhi? Because Pandavas had to go to the forest for 12 years. And then 1 year Ajñātavasa, and it was very much agreed upon that after they return, after those 13 years, the kingdom would be, Pandava's kingdom would be returned to them. But nothing like that happened. Duryodhana refused to part even an inch of the kingdom. He refused to give to the Pandavas, and that is the reason why this battle is going to happen. So therefore he calling Duryodhana as Durbuddher Dhartarashtrasya Yuddhe Priyachikirshavah. Priyachikirshavah, Priya is dear. So all those persons who are dear to Duryodhana, Chikirshavah, and they also want to help Duryodhana. They want to fight on behalf of Duryodhana in this Yuddhe, in this battle. Ya yete atra samagataha. So those Priyachikirshavah, those persons who are dear to Duryodhana and who want to fight on behalf of Duryodhana, who want to help him in the battle, ya yetre atra samagataha. They are all atra, that is in this battlefield, samagataha. They are all gathered here. Yotsyamanan. So they are the ones who are going to fight. Aham avekshe. I want to have a good look at them. So he continues to tell Krishna. First he says that, let me have a good look at all those persons whom I need to fight with. Here he says, calling them as Priyachikirshavah, because even these kings, they are all very great kings, and the whole world knows that Duryodhana has been very unreasonable in not returning the kingdom to the Pandavas. But in spite of that, you have all these Priyachikirshavah, all these kings who are so dear to Duryodhana, who have come here to fight on behalf of them, on behalf of him. So let me have a good look at them. Sanjaya uvacha eva mukto rishikesho gudakeşena bharata senayorubayor madhye stapayitva ratottamam. So Sanjaya continues to tell Bharata, addressing Dhritarashtra as O king coming from the Bharata dynasty. So once again, by adding a prefix, Bharata becomes Bharata, meaning to say O king who hails from the Bharata dynasty. So O Bharata, Gudakeshena eva muktva Rishikeshaha. So Rishikeshaha, we know it is Krishna. Rishikeshaha, what does he do? Gudakeshena eva muktva Rishikeshaha. Gudakesha means, Gudaka means sleep. Gudakeshaha is one who has won over his sleep. It refers to Arjuna here. So Krishna who was told thus by Arjuna. So, eva muktva, Krishna who was, uktva is tell. So, Krishna who was told thus by Arjuna. What was Krishna told by Arjuna? In the previous sloka, we saw that Arjuna said, I want to have a good look at all the warriors with whom I need to fight. Therefore, senayor ubayor madhye ratam stapaya. Please park the chariot between both the armies. So, Rishikesha, who was told thus by Gudakesha, that is Arjuna. So what does that Rishikesha, Krishna do? Senayor ubayor madhye stapayitva ratottamam, rata uttamam. After parking the magnificent chariot between both the armies, Bhishmadrona pramukataha sarvesham cha mahikshitam uvacha partha pashyaitan samavetan kuruniti. So uvacha, Krishna tells Partha, Pritha's son Arjuna, pashyaitan, look at what? Tan, pashyaitan, samavetan kurun. Tan kurun, look at the kurun. Kuru here is a people belonging to the Kuru race. So look at the Kauravas who are samavetan, who are assembled here. Bhishmadrona pramukataha. So in front of Bhishma and Drona, sarvesham cha mahikshitam, in front of all the kings who are going to fight on behalf of the Kauravas. So Krishna tells, O Partha, see, I have parked the chariot in front of Bhishma and Drona and in front of all those kings who are going to fight on behalf of the Kauravas. So pashyaitan, behold, kurun iti, all the Kauravas are assembled here. You can take a good look at them. Tatra pashyat stitan partha pitrunat pitamahan acharyan matulan bratrun putran pautran sakistata shvashuran sahrudaschaiva senayorubayorapi. So tatra apashyat tan partha. So Partha is Pritha's son Arjuna. He apashyat, he saw Pitrun. Pitrun is Chittappa, Periyappa, all people, all senior persons who are equivalent, who are father-like personalities. Pitamahan, great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather. Acharyan, his teachers, that is Kripacharya, Dronacharya. Matulan, maternal uncles. Bratrun, brothers. Putran, sons. Pautran, grandsons. Saki, friends. Shvashuran, fathers-in-law. Sahrudaschaiva, well-wishers. So he saw all of them assembled here. Once the chariot was parked between both the armies, he saw all his relatives, his gurus and other friends, well-wishers, senayor ubayor api. In between both the armies, he saw all of them. Tan samikshya cha kaunteya sarvan bandhunavasti paya paraya vishto vishidannidam abravit. Saha kaunteya tan sarvan bandhun avastitan samikshya. So saha kaunteya, Kunti's son Arjuna, tan sarvan bandhun relatives. So having seen all the relatives avastitan present there, that is between both the armies, all the relatives present, all those persons were seen by Arjuna. So having seen them, Kripaya paraya vishto vishidan idam abravit. So Arjuna, he was fully overcome with deep compassion after seeing all his relatives. He doesn't see them as adversaries. Yeah, he feels that his own teachers, his own relatives, Kauravas are his own cousin brothers. So having seen all of them, he is full of deep compassion. Paraya Vishto, to the brim, he is full of compassion. And Vishidan, with his heart full of sorrow, Idam Abravit, he spoke thus. So, in the next few shlokas, we would see that in the Arjuna is going to tell, he is going to describe all his feelings, what he feels like after seeing all his relatives, and for a moment he contemplates on what would be the outcome of all this. In this battle, maybe all his relatives they would die. So, contemplating on all this, he's full of compassion. So, the foundation for the paschatap that Arjuna is going to be overcome with, that is already set. Krishna, when he parks the chariot between both the armies, he tells that, "Oh Arjuna, behold, I have parked the chariot in front of Kuruna, that is in front of the Kauravas, who are your cousin brothers, and in front of Bhishma Drona Pramukataha, in front of Bhishma and Drona, and in front of all the kings." So Krishna himself, he kind of suggests that, see, I have parked the car. Now behold, you can have a very good look at all the persons whom you need to fight with. So accordingly, as anticipated, Arjuna also he is overcome by extreme compassion, and we are going to see more about all this in the next few shlokas.